Michael Douglas, a name synonymous with power, prestige, and Hollywood royalty, stands at 81 as one of the most influential figures the industry has ever produced. To the world, he is the embodiment of success, an Oscar-winning actor, a fearless producer, and the son of a legendary dynasty that helped shape American cinema itself. His career appears flawless, defined by confidence, intelligence, and commanding presence. But behind that polished image, behind the accolades and generational legacy, lived a man quietly battling storms the cameras never captured. A life marked not just by triumph, but by profound fear, isolation, and moments where survival mattered more than success. While audiences admired his strength on screen, Michael was fighting for something far more fragile off it: his health, his identity, and his future. Now, at 81, the truth behind that struggle reveals a journey far more painful and heartbreaking than most ever imagined. Before we continue, take a moment. Leave a small gesture of support, a like or a heart, for a man who carried the weight of a dynasty while quietly fighting battles of his own. Long before Michael Douglas became a towering figure in Hollywood, he was already living inside a shadow few could ever escape. Born to Kirk Douglas, one of the most commanding legends cinema had ever known, Michael's childhood was shaped by admiration, pressure, and an unspoken expectation to live up to a name that already filled theaters. From an early age, he understood that failure would never be quiet, and success would never truly be his alone. Growing up, Michael watched his father command respect wherever he went. Kirk was fearless, intense, and larger than life. To the outside world, this looked like privilege. But to a young boy still discovering himself, it felt like a constant comparison he could never outrun. Michael didn't want to imitate his father. He wanted to become his own man. Yet Hollywood rarely allows the children of legends that freedom. Early in his career, doors opened quickly, but so did skepticism. Critics dismissed him as Kirk Douglas's son, suggesting his success was inherited rather than earned. Each role became a test. Each performance carried the silent question: is he really good enough? Michael worked relentlessly, determined to prove his worth not just to the world, but to himself. Even as his career gained momentum, the emotional toll grew heavier. Fame did not quiet his insecurities. It amplified them. The pressure to succeed, to protect the family name, and to outshine doubt followed him everywhere. While others celebrated his rise, Michael carried a deep fear of falling, of being exposed as unworthy of the legacy he was born into. Behind closed doors, that pressure strained his personal life. Relationships suffered. Moments of joy were interrupted by anxiety and self-criticism. He pushed himself harder, believing rest was weakness and vulnerability was failure. Hollywood rewarded his intensity, but it also slowly consumed him. These early years forged Michael Douglas into a formidable force on screen, but they also planted the seeds of exhaustion, emotional isolation, and a relentless drive that would later collide with the most devastating challenge of his life, one that would force him to confront not fame, not legacy, but mortality itself. At the height of his power, when Michael Douglas seemed untouchable, life delivered a blow that no amount of fame, money, or preparation could soften. In 2010, the man known for strength and control was diagnosed with advanced throat cancer. Suddenly, the roles, the awards, the legacy, none of it mattered. What mattered was survival. The treatment was brutal. Chemotherapy and radiation stripped him of energy, appetite, and dignity. He lost weight rapidly. His voice weakened. His body, once the symbol of authority and confidence, became frail. For the first time, Michael was forced to confront something he had spent his entire life outrunning: fear. Real, paralyzing fear. Behind closed doors, the suffering was immense. There were moments he wondered if he would ever act again, if he would even live long enough to say goodbye properly. The pain wasn't just physical. The silence, the isolation, and the terrifying uncertainty chipped away at him day by day. Hollywood faded into the background, replaced by hospital rooms and long nights filled with doubt. Catherine Zeta-Jones stood by him, but even love couldn't fully shield them from the emotional toll. Watching his family fear losing him broke something inside Michael. For a man who had always been the provider, the protector, the pillar, it was devastating to feel helpless. When he eventually announced he was cancer-free, the world celebrated a victory. But recovery didn't erase the trauma. The experience left scars that never healed. He emerged grateful, yes, but changed. Mortality lingered in his thoughts. Time no longer felt endless. Every role carried new weight. Every day, a quiet reminder of how close he came to the edge. Though he returned to acting, the fire was different now. The confidence had been tempered by humility. The ambition softened by awareness. Michael Douglas survived cancer, but part of the man he once was never returned. And as the years passed, that realization would become both a blessing and a burden he carried into the final chapters of his life. After surviving cancer, Michael Douglas entered a phase of life few Hollywood legends ever prepare for: the reckoning. Survival brought gratitude, but it also brought reflection. He began looking back not only at the roles he played, but at the moments he missed, the relationships strained by ambition, and the years spent chasing greatness at the cost of peace. Aging in Hollywood is unforgiving. The roles grew fewer. The industry he once dominated moved forward without waiting. For a man who had spent his life proving himself, this quiet fading felt like another loss. Less dramatic than illness, but just as painful. Fame no longer protected him from time. At home, life carried its own complexities. His love for Catherine Zeta-Jones remained strong, but their journey was marked by challenges, including her very public mental health struggles. Watching someone you love suffer, after nearly losing your own life, left Michael feeling powerless in ways success could never fix. Now, at 81, Michael Douglas stands as a man who has known everything Hollywood promises, and everything it takes away. He survived legacy pressure, public doubt, and a life-threatening illness. But survival doesn't mean escape. It means learning to live with scars, with regret, and with the quiet understanding that even legends are human. His tragedy isn't just what he endured, it's what it cost him to endure it. Michael Douglas's life proves that even the strongest icons face moments of fear, loss, and quiet regret. His story isn't just about fame. It's about survival, humility, and the cost of greatness. If this journey moved you, like, subscribe, and stay with us for more untold stories behind the legends.